We did this together when we were at our company together, the three of us.
Mhm.
We see it come up a lot with companies. It's the platform play conversation. And so we were building these broad enterprise integration platforms and interested in that. And we began to see that very often the platform concept was a reaction to something, some of the elements of the hidden chasm. And so these things are very coupled. So how often do you find yourself having the platform conversation, whatever that may mean to your customer at that time?
So it's not zero. It's probably not 50% at the start. It's not an early conversation. Typically, somewhere midstream, they have that panic moment where they realize, oh, we're still legacy, monolithic, blah, blah, blah. All the sins of the past are there. And the pendulum starts to go way the other direction quickly, right? Oh, and now it's a platform. We can't afford to re-architecture. We can't afford a platform because they still think of it in terms of multi-year initiatives and big bang delivery. I mean, I don't know, 40% of the time, about halfway, it usually comes up in some way, shape, or form, usually very knee-jerk, followed by gnashing of teeth and some panic of like, oh, this is too big, or how do we just stabilize the boat? I think that's not bad. Then you could start to have a little more conversation about, well, okay, is it all on fire? Is it all on fire at the same level? And if we just take a step back, is there any way where we could start systematically putting things in place as an in-place replacement as part of that strategy? Does it have to be all or nothing? Or can we start breaking things up a little more systematically, a little more logically, and carving things out to replace it over time? Just make it part of your technical strategy so you don't have to go dark for 3 years to do this. I think it's a learning moment.
Right.
I don't know what you guys see, but I find most organizations, most, not all, most, only need to hit that once in their lifetime.
I have a question, but I'll respond to what you mentioned because you said something that I've never heard before, but now kind of makes sense that the word platform in itself, or thinking of this, the changes that the organization needs to make as one monolithic thing and giving a name to it, platform, is a response to a mindset that needs to shift.
Yeah.
Which means that when companies start to say platform, and panic about this big thing, that is a signal that they recognize the problem that needs to be solved, but they're thinking of it in legacy mindset terms.
Yeah, absolutely. So Josh, complete this sentence. All right. So we'll try this and we can edit this out if this fails horribly. But word association, complete the sentence for me.
I love it.
All right. Today we're starting our next big adventure, our next big initiative. Today we're proud to announce the kickoff of our platform
2.0.
1.0.
1.0.
project.
Oh, I spelled that one.
Right? Platform project.
Oh,
Right? It gets into project-based thinking versus product-based thinking. If we think in terms of project, it's big bang, single deliverable, funding, lots of time, lots of people. But a project never really ends, does it? If you have a project and you work on a project and you have people on a project and it has an end date, is that the only value you ever deliver there? Right? There's going to be enhancements, there's going to be support, there's going to be updates, there's going to be maintenance. Project doesn't end. What you really start shifting is, no, what you have is a stream of value in your organization that's attached to revenue and customers. That stream of value has one or more products in your solution. As an organization, stop funding projects, start funding the stream of value. And what life cycle are you in? Are you in emerging growth? Are you in R&D? Are you in ramp up acceleration? Are you in extracting revenue where it's a little more flat? Or is it getting closer towards end of life where there's no revenue left to extract on? If you start shifting even just a little bit to that approach, you could still fund projects, I guess, within that structure if you wanted to. But within there, that means that there's a business life cycle and economic decision to be made for it. If it's a 5-10 year product solution, that means like any car, house, or product that you own, things are going to start wearing out and you need to replace things periodically. And I think if just that little pivot puts things like platform a little less scary. It's an architectural pivot. Part of our architectural pivot means we have to carve out something out of a monolithic application to replace it, but it starts to stand alone. And then can we replace something else? I mean, yeah, okay. Is there refactoring? Yes. But on the product level, your strategy is to extract revenue out of this thing for the next 10 years. There were 2 nuggets of wisdom that I was chomping at the bit just because as you were saying it is, so if platform is your play,
Yeah.
How on earth are you going to future proof the technology that's coming out over the next 3 to 5 years in a vacuum today to predict the
Right.
future 5 years out? You can't do that. And anybody who tells you you can do that is, I don't know, maybe they can do it. Maybe they have a crystal ball that I don't have. But every time I hear that, the platform play, the platform is a thing. It's going to take us 3 years to build, and we're going to design it today using the technology we have today, using what's available to us today, versus saying our platform is there to support the revenue stream. And what are the pieces, elements, and components, whether we build, buy, integrate, or partner to solve that business equation, right? They're two completely different mindsets. And I think you were pulling on the second one of it's not always roll your own. And at times you're going to be able to need to pull something else out, and off the shelf is fine as long as it does what you need it to do or can be configured to do what you need it to do. I think there's a mindset in old architecture world of like, oh no, I have to have it all on paper and connect all the dots and it has to be perfect for something 5 years out.
I've done that. Yeah.
But we've all done that. I can't think of any single one of us that grew up in producing software in the 90s and early 2000s that hasn't done that.